Just 2 days in, and this year's Coachella has already had a number of awkward and embarrassing moments that were a nightmare for the celebrities involved. So let's get into the 2024 Coachella disasters that ruined celebrities' careers. First up, we have to talk about Grimes. Coachella performances this year have been a mess across the board, and we'll get to the big one at the end, but Grimes is unfortunately another victim. She produces music in the lo-fi R&B and dance pop genres, which is a great choice for the event. But the tech for the festival didn't agree. Some of her tracks were double the speed, among other random technical difficulties that kept on happening. It also apparently got so bad that Grimes screamed and cursed out of frustration. She had to stop the set multiple times and explain to the crowd in real time that she was having trouble mixing the songs because all of the tracks were double the tempo. Overall, it sounds like a nightmare for her. The set actually got cut short because everything was going so wrong, and Grimes left the stage in the middle of one of her songs. She later apologized for the disaster on her X account, saying that the reason the songs were messed up was because she had, in her words, outsourced essential parts of the show and she let someone else organize the tracks on her SD card. So it seems like someone else caused the speedy tracks, and to add more context, Grimes went on to write, "CDs were showing me BPMs like 370, so I couldn't even mix manually by ear, and the front monitors were off, so it was literally sonic chaos on my end." So it seems like the set truly was a hopeless case because Grimes couldn't even hear what was happening. Luckily, she said that she will fix everything herself in time for her next performance, but this was surely something of a nightmare. Next up, we have Blur. An uninterested crowd is a performer's worst nightmare. Blur unfortunately got to experience that at Coachella this weekend. The English rock band were performing their many hits at the festival, and yet the crowd seemed like they would rather be anywhere else. The band apparently tried engaging with the crowd multiple times, tried bringing the energy up, but no one was really into it. Sometimes they were even met with silence. At one point it got to be too much, and the lead singer addressed the bad vibes. He said, "You are never seeing us again, so you might as well effing sing it." I imagine the feeling of being in that crowd would have been like getting scolded by a teacher, so I'm glad I wasn't there. Fans of the band were quick to comment on the situation. One person wrote, "I'm convinced Coachella has the worst vibes and people possible. It's Blur, show some respect." Others pointed out that maybe the audience was younger and not as familiar with the pop band because they were not from America. Still, if you're going to see a band, even if you don't know them that well, if they are trying to bring up the energy, you need to be giving them something. Moving on to Tiana Taylor's angry interview. This was a mess. Well, there's getting angry on stage, and then there's getting angry before you even make it there. Tiana was giving a strange interview during the music festival where she seemingly stormed off in a fit of rage. It seems like the host had asked her a question that really struck a nerve, and Tiana was getting very vocal with her frustration towards the interviewer. She told the host that the question was messy, and then she just stood up and said that she was done. She left the interviewer in a state of shock when she stormed off the set, and it seemed like it was a serious situation. The host even said that she was about to cry, and the whole thing was just incredibly awkward. Now, thankfully, it turns out that that situation was just a prank, but the secondhand embarrassment in that moment was clearly real. At least Tiana managed to prove that she's a pretty good actress because she had everyone convinced that this was actually real. Next, we have to talk about Nelly Furtado's injury, because man, this was a disaster. So as we know, Nelly is an icon in the music industry, and she literally left it all on stage during her performance at Coachella. But she had to cope with an unexpected blunder mid-performance that kind of had everyone performing their own collective wincing. While she was in the middle of singing Eat Your Man, Nelly lost her footing on stage and she hit the ground hard. It actually seemed like a pretty nasty fall, and the crowd was likely a bit shocked. But she didn't even miss a beat. She simply got up and acted like the whole thing never happened while continuing to perform the song for her adoring fans. After that performance, she took to Instagram to share a photo of the aftermath of her fall. She managed to cut up her thumb wide open and left a nasty gash, but that didn't seem to break her spirits. In fact, she almost treated the injury like a battle scar, and it only just made the performance that much more memorable. It was probably embarrassing in the heat of the moment, but Nelly Furtado took this one in stride. Lastly, we have to mention Lana Del Rey's technical difficulties, because clearly no performer got out of Coachella completely scot-free. So for some unknown reason, her microphone kept going out. The people who were there described the performance, saying it was full of awkward stops, starts, and moments where she just motioned for the crowd to pick up the slack for her. Thankfully, her devoted fans were singing their heart out, so it was loud enough to cover the mistake. But the whole thing also forced Lana to do a sound check mid-set. All in all, it just was not a smooth show. So what do you think about this year's Coachella? Did you guys get tickets? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you all in the next video.